Dozens of searchers on the Mid and North Island are rested and waiting for their next call after a grueling 16-hour Christmas Eve rescue near Courtenay. The operation to save a man who was trapped on a ledge in deteriorating weather conditions cost about $24,000. And as Dean Stoltz reports, searchers say the man's life was more at risk than even he is letting on.
The mountains along the Beaufort Range near Courtenay are cloud-covered and partly socked in by fog again, much the same as they were on Christmas Eve when the rescue of 26-year-old Lawrence Flucot was hampered by weather. He had left Mount Washington Friday morning on a backcountry ski trip but ran into trouble the next day, getting stuck on the edge of a cliff on Mount Becher. These are pictures of the area taken Christmas Day after the rescue ended.
This is a young guy, lots of bravado. Certainly he has some skills, but got in a little bit over his head and made a call to us.
Flucot was finally brought to safety at 5:30 Christmas morning. He's said to be an avid backcountry snowboarder, and we wanted to talk to him about the 16-hour rescue that took dozens of searchers away from their families on Christmas Eve and even risked their own lives during the rescue. But Flucot declined our request. He did speak to the Victoria Times columnist and says he's grateful to rescuers but never felt his life was in danger. However, the head of the Comox Valley Ground SAR team who led the operation doesn't agree.
When he talked to us at 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve, he said that he was soaking wet and shivering. Who knows what he would look like at 5 in the morning had he had to spend the entire night out there. We know that hypothermia kills most people lost out in the wilderness in BC, and it can do it very fast.
Having a cell phone to call for help and give his coordinates may have saved his life. The entire operation cost about $24,000, including the bill for 2 private helicopters and a cormorant from 19 Wing Comox. BC taxpayers will pick up the tab like they do for all rescues, because making those who are rescued pay the bill could lead to even more trouble.
If people know that there's a charge for the rescue, they're likely not going to call. And then rather than delivering people home to their parents in the morning, we're recovering bodies, and that's the last thing we want.
These 2 men were among the first to reach Flucot on that ledge, and it wasn't lost on them where they were in the wilderness, away from their families on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that did cross my mind, but it also crossed my mind that he has family as well. It's wondering where he is.
Team members spent much of the day Monday cleaning up and putting a lot of their gear back together, getting ready for the next rescue. Meanwhile, Lawrence Flucot was back ice climbing in the same general area.
We don't do it for the thank you. We do it because we exist as a team to help, and that's what we'll do. We do drop everything.
This was their 36th operation of 2011.